Good morning, everyone. Today we are starting Merging with Śiva, chapter 22, which is entitled The Path of Egoity. It's from 1989. For those of you who aren't familiar, the chapters in Merging with Śiva are not in chronological order. They're placed in an order to present the topics in a certain sequence. So some of the chapters that were given last are toward the beginning, which is the case here. So it's from 1989. The latest one is from 1990. Lesson 148, what is the Anava Marga? Good question. Much has been said of the path toward merger with Śiva, and much remains to be said. But the truth is this, most people on this earth are following another path for the moment, the path of self-indulgence and self-interest and selfishness. 3 selves. No doubt, it is the most popular path, and it has its own pandits and masters who teach how to perfect the path of the external ego, how to perfect worldliness, how to perfect the trinity of I, me, and mine, how to perfect self-indulgence. But that is not the ultimate path, which is followed by the few, by mature souls. It is important for aspirants to know that the real path leading toward merger with Śiva has many detours, pitfalls, and sidetracks that beckon unwary travelers. It is important for him or her to know about these side paths, to be warned, as I am doing now, to be wary of them, to be cautious, to be extremely careful. One of these I call the Anava Marga, or the path of egoism. True, it is not a traditional path, but it is a path well-worn, well-known in all human traditions. In fact, you could say there are 3 such untraditional paths, 3 worldly margas, anava, karma, and maya. The last 2 bonds, karma and maya, are the first to begin to diminish their hold on the soul as one proceeds on the path to enlightenment. So that's a very interesting statement, worth commenting on. So when we think of Maya, in Saiva Siddhanta, Maya doesn't mean illusion, it means the world. And in the concept of Anava, Karma, and Maya, it's not just the world, it's our attraction to the world. That's what the bondage is. It's not that the world exists. It's that we're attracted to the world. And we act, sometimes we act unwisely, and what does that do? Creates a difficult karma to face. So, learning to not be that attracted to the world, learning not to act in ways which create difficult karmas, is what we have to do first. And then once that's done, we still have to deal with anava. And when these fetters begin to loosen, the anava, the personal ego identity, thoughts of me, my, and mine, should also begin to go, but often don't. When karma and maya begin to go, anava often becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Interesting. The karma marga is when the soul is totally enmeshed in the actions and reactions of the past and making new karmas so swiftly that little personal identity or egoism is experienced. Like a small boat bouncing on a vast ocean of ignorance. Isn't that great? Small boat bouncing on a vast ocean of ignorance. the ignorance of the Maya Marga. This Marga is not spoken of at all in Hindu scripture, except indirectly, yet all the sages knew of its delightful distractions. It is truly there for the soul who is bound to ignorance of how to know karma, know dharma, or even know anything but the next and the next experience, as each is eagerly thrust upon him. Here the soul is bound by karmas, bound by Maya, giving the abilities to ignore. That is the path that has to be left once on it, the sidetrack to be ignored and pass by. A sharp turn, a firm decision brings this unhappy soul onto the Anava Marga, the path of extreme personal identity. Here the realization comes that, yes, I am a person on this earth with the rights of all. I am no longer bound and harassed by experience. I can adjust experience, create new experience for myself and for others. I can be the controller. I am I. The I becomes the realization and sometimes the end of the path of the karma and Maya Marga. The I, the all-important personal identity, so strong, becomes the realization of the small and limited self, which appears to be a big and real self to those who have found this path, which is not the spiritual path, but the path of grayness, while the karma and Maya Margas are the paths of darkness. Yes, the Anava Marga is a real Marga, a labyrinth. It truly is. We are concerned to define Anava because a word can be dispatched too quickly. A concept can be forgotten. Anava, the personal ego, finding oneself with a small s, the personal identity, gaining intellectual freedom are all modern cliches. Defining the Anava Marga appeared in my mind as a necessary thing to do while I was helping devotees to understand the Charya Marga, the Kriya Marga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Raja Yoga. To offset the negative with the positive better explains the positive. To understand the pure essence of ignorance, where it comes from, its values, beliefs, and motivations, better defines the heights of wisdom out of which comes dharma and aspirations for mukti. Sometimes, in fact, we see Anava Margis thinking they are Yoga Margis. We cannot advance on the path without a starting place. No race was ever won, but that everyone began at the same place. To know where we are in the path of life, progressing to mukti, which is one of the four tenets of life, dharma, artha, kama, and mukti, merging with Shiva, we should not be diluted by the ignorance of what the Anava actually is and what artha and kama are. The strength of their hold on the soul, preventing the dharma and the final attainment of mukti. Lesson 149, Self-Concern, Self-Preservation. People who are living totally on the Anava Marga are not religious, and if attending religious functions, they stand with folded arms on the outside looking in. Their only emotions are for themselves, their immediate family and friends, but only if the latter prove useful to them. Selfishness and avarice are two descriptive words for their lifestyle. To their immediate family, they are protective, kind, and resourceful, provided the spouse, sons, and daughters are productive and equally as concerned for the family welfare. The animal instinct prevails of let's preserve the nest, the lair, at all costs. The businessman on the Anava Marga is generous by all appearances, gives enough to gain praise, adulation, and to make friends. In proportion to his wealth, he gives a pittance. There is always some attachment to the gift, some favor to be eventually reaped. The gift is a purchase in disguise. The Anavamargi in giving charity would always want adulation, credit, name to be mentioned, and if it is a large amount, some control in the use of it. There are strings attached. He may even follow up years later and wreak criticism and havoc if the gift given in cash or kind is not maturing in value. In contrast, the devotee of God on the Kriya Marga would know that he was only giving to himself through indirection and place his gift freely in the hands of those he trusts. In other words, what we give away now comes back to us in the future. And Gurudeva likes to say that if you're giving to a temple, it comes back multifold. God pays better interest. That's what he said. That's what he says. Trust is always preceded by love. There is no difference between the two except the method of follow-up. The Anavamargi becomes the law. The Kriya Margi knows that divine law will work for him if he follows the path of righteousness, while the Anavamargi is driven to manipulate the law in fulfillment of each of his concerns. Emotional ups and downs are contingent to the Anavamarga. 4 steps forward, 3 steps backward, a step to the side, 6 steps forward, 2 steps backward, a step to the side, 6 steps backward, 3 steps forward, step to the side. It is an amazing dance. It is a maze. They all think they are going someplace. This dance of ignorance is not one of Lord Shiva's favorite dances, though it is definitely one of his dances. He does it with a smile and a sneer, mirth and a tear on his face. He actually has most of the world doing this dance now. Ignorance is equally distributed throughout the planet. The intrinsic ability to ignore consistently and persistently the eternal truths of the Sanatana Dharma is one of the great qualifications of the Anavamargi. Television is a window into the Anavamarga. We see extremely successful professional people who may have started on the Anavamarga and have bypassed it to the artful acting portrayal of people on the Anavamarga. We can see in their eyes they have a life that is seeking and searching, understanding and knowing, and their magnetism keeps them before the public year after year after year. These are the professionals. Oh, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.